All right, welcome back. Getting ready to hop into game number 3, which is going to be comeback uplink. Chance, you've been pretty spot on so far with this series. You've been, really behind it after casting them earlier and today. What are your thoughts going into game 3?
Well, the 3 core members of TR minus Vicento adding Parasite, you got them, give them the edge. And Uplink, phenomenal players. They more or less changed the game at Champs. They were like the first team we really saw with insane teamwork.
So fun to watch.
Yes.
It was like, honestly, I think I said about casting, it was like you were watching the Harlem Globetrotters. Like the way they were passing the rock around, like you just didn't really see it with any other teams. It was like slay out, we'll move it up in layers. They were passing it around. It was absolutely a pleasure to watch. But you'll see a little bit of the map here as we're getting ready to hop into comeback. But give me maybe a key matchup. Who are you really looking to go off here from either side?
Well, okay, the entire team for Epsilon is going to have to perform.
Yeah,
Okay, so they have the teamwork. Denial has the slaying power. So I'm going to be looking at Classic for Denial, though. We saw some shaky shots in the S&D. If he can clean it up, that's going to be huge. I have full, confidence in Hugh Contempt, and Slasher might have struggled a little bit in the first game, but nonetheless, he played phenomenally in the S&D. I think he'll be fine. But of course, Epsilon looking pretty good off the break, able to get the first 2 kills. Of course, Temp is going to strike back, but that's all 4 down.
Poor Classic goes hunting after that player just to be taken out. This should be an early point here as Naga able to wisely throw it through. Maybe had a dunk, but with the nades coming in, spawns coming up, Wisely is just going to toss it through. Now let's get eyes back on around glass. It's going to be Aqua that gets it in his hands early. He's got a bit of cover here as well. Can he get it through? Goes over the wall. 2 points early on. We're only 40 seconds into this game, and they've got the spawn for drone as well and glass control. This is looking very good for Epsilon early.
Without a doubt, another 2 kills coming in their favor. Remy is going to get shut down. Slasher picking up Aqua as well. Nonetheless, though, Nagafen still going to be in control of glass. So at the very least, Epsilon still going to be in full control of this game. Of course, Parasite going to be the last one over there. It looks like Denial's going to have an opportunity to start making moves with the drone. Slasher with that ball in hand.
And yeah, this should definitely be points here as he's going to have a nice toss there, able to get one through. And it was all about getting those big kills inside of glass, and now they have control. And who's the man in the back? That's going to be Classic. That's going to be able to get it. He's going to be wrapping on the side of blue. Should be able to at least get one, maybe go for the dunk. And now he's got the easiest dunk in the world is they're going to spawn out and actually wrap behind. I like this. If you saw Remy spawn in green and wrap the whole way around just to get control of glass, kind of stop the bleeding. Yeah,
without a doubt, that is just like the idea of the slaying power that Denial has was enough to scare Epsilon to not even try and fight, because they basically were completely set in for the spawn trap. They accepted, hey, we'll be down by 1, but if we can go back to that drone, we can start putting some points on the board. Remy going to be leading the charge for his squad. Weirdly enough, with the ball in hand, going to have a player up top, not going to win that gunfight, going to get shut down from the side, and it looks like Aqua is going to be having some problems. Just going to reset that armor and try to pick up his gun and get a kill. He's going to be able to do so, but nonetheless, it does appear for the moment Denial's going to be in position, but actually, there's a player going on a huge flank, which if he can get there in time, is going to be able to do some damage. That's going to be Slasher, and well, that's going to be the case. Epsilon not able to run away with that drone.
That's similar to what we saw Remy do. You get a spawn, you wrap the entire way around, and you're able to pick up a couple kills. I mean, getting any kills inside of glass, outside of glass, just in that general vicinity can swing things so quickly, as we'll see a 1-point toss come in for Classic. I mean, more often than not, we see this particular map play in kind of a game of rallies. Usually it's, you get a burst of points if you're a side. You get control of drone spawn, you're able to rally together 4, 5, 6 points. That's what we've seen thus far here. We'll see if Slasher is able to add to this. He was going to, I think, go for a 1-point toss from lower, not able to get it through. Temp playing a bit of offense here, getting kills inside the base. The pass comes through. Can he get the dunk? Not able to get it forward yet. Just cleaning up player after player, but they're not able to get the drone to him.
Yeah, that might have been a problem with the team kill right there, and it looks like that's going to give Epsilon an opportunity to wrap it. I thought for a moment Aqua might have just played that out, but you can see 3 kills in their favor. There is 1 player for Denial in position to make the stop. That's going to be cute, but Aqua just going to jump up top, recognize that instantaneously, hits the 1-point toss, and reduce the deficit just to 1 point. More importantly, though, they stopped Denial from getting any more points on the board right there, where they were in a decent position to get 2.
Oh, yeah, you saw Hook, poor guy just waiting inside the base, picking up kill after kill, just wanting them to get it forward, try to add to this tally, but there it is. There comes a dunk. Temp's able to pick up a couple of kills, minute 45 left on the clock, but where it matters is here. Classic is in a man to grab the drone. That was a big kill coming out of Nagafen, as he's going to be able to stop the bleeding yet again, slow down any kind of onslaught, but it only slowed it down for a matter of seconds, and now they're back at it again because Temp's still wreaking havoc in the base alongside Hook, and Slasher again going to be the man to put it through. He has 5 points with the uplink already. Not able to shut it down in green, but that's Classic coming up with a 2-piece.
Yeah, Remy, though, going on the overextend is going to be trying to make moves by himself, and it looks like he might might get away with it, but he got greedy, trying to go for the 2 instead of the 1. That was something they did better earlier on, just making sure to get the guaranteed points. But he was completely by himself, just trying to outrun the enemy team, though the spawn did come in for Denial, and I believe Huke was able to get that stop. Nonetheless, though, it is going to be Denial trying to end this one early. They got a minute left to get a dunk on the board, and it looks like Huke just going to try and turn on somebody, going to get rid of that drone. His teammate comes in support. That's going to be Temp. Eventually, though, Nagafen able to cut him down, but still that drone in a tough spot. Epsilon needs to pick up the kills.
Classic providing a distraction in the base, able to pick up 1 before falling, might allow Slasher to get some work done as well. He's going to pick up 1 before falling. Drone on spawn, 40 seconds to work with. We'll see if they can hit that 10-point margin here before the time limit, and it's set up. This should be it. The toss comes forward, but the stun, it affects, it didn't come through it. It looked like the stun almost like hit the drone there as he tossed in. You saw it explode. Like, that was going right to Huke for the dunk, right?
We're going to see it again. It looks like it bounced off of his back.
His back, or like, I think a stun came in as well, or
Stuns in this game are pretty good, man.
Apparently, if you want to stop any forward momentum, but that just looked like, yeah, went off his back. But despite that, they're able to get the 10 points. Very good half, but in my opinion, even though this plays 50-50 at times, it was definitely Denial with strong side to kick things off. Is Epsilon now able to answer back, Chance?
I don't think they are. The only one producing anything in the kills department is Nagafen, and he is able to get the first blood on this second side as well, but it's not going to be enough. Denial already within the first 10 seconds of this one, going to be able to get another 2 points on the board. They got a 9-point lead, and frankly, Epsilon is going to have to do just some wizardry level stuff to make this comeback, and I just do not think they have it in them. Denial has been in full control of this entire series.
This actually, I was talking about maybe they're on the weaker side now. Denial not showing that. They had what, I think it was 2 1-pointers within the opening 40 seconds. Here they actually had to get a dunk and a 1-pointer in the opening 50 or so. So just very strong starts from Denial has been the big difference. I mean, just looking at that, it's what, it's 5 points when just in the opening 60 seconds of both halves.
Yeah, without a doubt, all what Denial needs to do now is just play a little bit slower, make sure they pick up the kills. They don't have to do anything too crazy with the drone. They just have to make sure Epsilon can't get them in a spawn trap, more or less. Of course, Epsilon going to be going for that exact thing right now. Parasite going to be top blue with the drone. Going to have a few players to beat. Just going to sprint at him.
Classic,
and he
aim
chokes
your
the
gun.
1-point shot. Classic able to get the kill. Not necessarily a choke, but you can't bounce a 1-point toss off of a wall, especially not when you're down by 10.
All right, Temp able to pick up some kills in the base. 10-point advantage right now. 3:10 on the clock here. The battles are going to matter. It's going to be these ones inside the glass. Huke will be the man in. You see some frog hopping there coming in for Parasite. Doesn't matter as he's able to clean it up. Has a second player, not able to find him. Tries to turn.
Got that kill.
Did he bend his bullets?
I don't know. He got that with like 1 bullet while barely even shooting at him.
Have you ever seen the movie Wanted?
I have seen the movie
I've
Wanted,
seen
yeah.
some magical stuff happen with bullets. I don't know what Huke just did, but
Does
that was
that mean
ridiculous.
Huke is Angelina Jolie?
Yes, he would be Angelina Jolie.
I can dig it.
Was it James McAvoy? That makes me James McAvoy.
Can I be Morgan Freeman?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Morgan.
What a talented cast. But here we go. 2.5 on the clock. Drone going to be down. It's been all Denial throughout this one. Couple players in and around glass right now. Tim's going to have the first engagement. Can he win the gunfight? Shot shaky at first, but able to eventually get the headshot and take out Remy. And that's going to be Drone underneath. Going to fall to Classic. This is an easy dunk as he's got everyone in front. Nice toss to Temp. They're running away with this.
12-point lead. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left. Denial going to be able to get this hot 3-0 without a doubt. That's going to be their second one on the day they were able to pull off. Of course, the S&D a little bit farther away than it was when they were playing Rise earlier on. But nonetheless, Denial looks good. The question is, despite the fact that Epsilon was able to make it now just a 10-point deficit, do you think Denial has it in them to compete with OG and compete with FaZe? Obviously, this new lineup coming in, they're replacing replays with Classic. Do you think that's going to be enough to make the difference for the squad?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's been one team every event that kind of makes that run, that makes things interesting. It was Epsilon last event. It's been Denial in the past, kind of that team that makes runs periodically. There's going to be someone you don't expect outside of FaZe and Optic. I mean, as of now, the answer is yes. There you go again. I think it was a stun earlier that did it. Just drops that drone. But yeah, I mean, if we're talking about so far what we've seen a couple hours into the first day, right now, yeah. I mean, who else have you seen that could be in that conversation? I don't think there's anybody else right now.
That's an incredible question. Elevate or Envy, like potentially they've been playing pretty well today from what I understand as well. I think
I don't think they've been like this though. They haven't been 3-0 a good quote unquote top team, at least in the last month or so.
And then Optic Gaming, they nearly got beat by Infuse. They had to clutch up massively at the end to be able to pull off that victory. And when they were playing XGN, by the way, this game is over. When they were playing XGN, it was 3 close games in a row. So Optic Gaming, yes, they still are looking incredibly good, but they're not blowing teams out like Denial is. Denial seems to be on another level. They are definitely a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, but that's kind of been, you know, sometimes it's been Optics ML. You start a little slow on Friday, by Sunday they're ramped up, crushing everyone. We'll see if they bounce back. But, you know, focusing on Denial right now, I just don't know. I didn't see their first match, unfortunately. How much of this is Epsilon making a team change and maybe it's not working out well, or is Denial just playing that well? I mean, it's hard to fault anyone. Hook was 32-17 in game 3. I think he went 42-27 or something absurd in game number 1. So in response, he ended up somewhere in the neighborhood of plus 30, which is just ridiculous.
Yes,
you saw him start hot in the S&D, slow down a little bit, but the rest of the team picked it up. And what kills me, though, is we saw multiple times Classic having some rough shots, definitely not feeling confident, feeling a bit shaky. It didn't matter at all.
No, not even a little bit.
It just didn't matter, and that's almost kind of what you see sometimes with a team like Optic Game. You have 3 Slayers, even if someone plays a little shaky, it doesn't matter. Wow, man, looking strong early.
Without a doubt, and you know, it's interesting too, because again, the old Denial always outslayed their opponents pretty much no matter what, but still managed to lose games all the time, especially in hardpoint. Maybe Classic gonna be able to fix that one up, but of course, we do have some guys on the analyst desk to break this down for us. And of course, TP's gonna be there as well, everybody's fan favorite. So guys, take it away.
Maven, Benson joined by the wonderful TV, fan favorite, and of course Jack, not so fan favorite. Kidding, Jack, don't worry, don't worry. What a game we saw though. We said it was going to be a good game. Yeah. Kind of disappointed, not gonna lie. Expected a little bit more from Epsilon.
Said they'd win. We were right.
Nice prediction there, bud.
You can't win them all. But Denial, crushed. Was that just a solid Denial performance, or was Epsilon a little bit lackluster there?
They're looking very impressive to me. Yeah. 2 uplinks we've seen them play.
Yep.
Crushed it. Absolutely crushed it on both. It's looking like Classic is the better fourth. He's obviously way better than Aqua. I'm just kidding.
Who won the trade, Deep? Who won the trade?
The thing that Denial was lacking before was a constant pressure on the map, and Classic's the perfect player to do that, in my opinion. He's doing that extra thing that replays wouldn't do, I guess. He's always creating more gunfights, putting more pressure on the map, and I feel like that's why they have so much more of a wave of pressure, especially on uplink, and I feel like that's why they're able to take the sort of stronghold on each of these maps, and I'm impressed.
Oh,
not
absolutely.
gonna lie.
Haven't dropped a map yet so far this weekend.
Easy.
6-0 right now, looking very solid. Another thing to point out is the roles that were a little bit iffy at the Season 3 playoffs with Temp running the sub and replays
Yeah, they
running
tried
the AR.
mixing things up a little bit and it didn't work.
Yeah, Temp running the sub right now looks much more confident. He's had much more time with it. So far, it's been paying off. Hook hasn't even come close to going negative in any of the respawns. And yes, KD is in everything, but he's also doing everything in the objective too.
When he's going
exactly
that
who you want on your
positive,
team.
KD does matter.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly,
I mean? Like,
exactly.
if you're just hovering around that, 1.0, 1.1, okay, whatever. But
1.5.
Hook the Nuke gets 1.6 KDs. He's winning you maps.
Oh,
We've seen it all year
Right.
long. He hasn't slowed down at all. They're looking very, very good.
To touch on Epsilon briefly, though, was that to you a sign that maybe they could struggle getting out of this group, or is it you still expect to see them come out of this group? It's just now, when it comes to bracket play, they're going to have a maybe more difficult time to you.
I would probably expect them to come out of the group, but
Okay.
they didn't look good at all in that match. I don't know what exactly is going wrong for them. Maybe they didn't get enough practice. There's so many
Royalty
things.
is sat somewhere smiling right
Yeah, Royalty's just sitting in his chair or whatever, just like, oh, well, that was a great decision, guys. So I don't know if they're going to be able to bounce back. The caster said it pretty well. You never know. When you go in that loser bracket and you start going on a run, you might be able to do it. They might make it out of the group, but that was a poor showing from them. They need to figure it out, and quickly, if they're going to make it out of that group.
now. Yeah,
Oh,
still
absolutely. I mean,
a lot of
right
fun to
now,
play.
you were quite passionate about it when it was going on. The whole idea of Royalty no longer being on the team. You said this was an improving team with him on that squad. Then to just kind of wipe that away and
Right.
hope that it's better with Aqua. Yes, it's a great idea. It's planned, but
Yeah, on paper,
On
it
paper,
looks
it's like,
great,
oh,
You see
right?
what's the
improvement,
TR?
they're like,
Here
oh,
we go.
nice places, nice places.
and it's all gone.
What?
And it's
Who
gone.
knows?
And it's gone. Yeah, pretty much. Well, that's going to conclude the analysis from that game. It's worth mentioning we're going to go for a 30-minute dinner break, and then we'll be back with more action live here from the MLG World Finals. See you guys later.